Morning. Welcome to the second session. Welcome to the second session of the morning. Each speaker will have 20 minutes to present their topic. At the end of the three presentations, there will be a common question and answer session. First, José Luis Ortega from CSIC will present a paper on the thematic and geographic influence on scientific blogs analyzed thanks to Almetrics. Please.
Thank you. Good morning. So I'm going to do the presentation about the thematic and geographical biases in mention of the research article by blog and news in three Almetric providers. Almetric provider is a fundamental for Almetric study because they allow to appreciate the impact of science in different environments, in society, in economy, in education. So, and the blog news are very relevant because they are of special interest in because they are the only Almetric that they come from they need a pre-selection of the source that mention the article, the Twitter, Mendeley Reader. This metric can be extracted directly from the source. So in blog you need to select clearly the source to analyze the source and then to extract the mention. So due to this, we think that a blog and news will present a possible selection bias. Because when you select the source, you could include some bias. And the other reason is that the blog news can be managed in different forms. So, for example, Almetric.com uses a curated list of media, plans, contrarily, use a third party, another company, a news flow, that supply the mention of the media. So there is a different way to extract mention to research article. And the objective for this presentation is to know if there is any selection bias according to country and discipline. If that is the case, which does cause that bias? It's only a metric provider selecting source, selecting blog and news, or by the own source, this blog and news that sit in particular paper. So this is the question. The method, we select 100,000 random journal article published in 2012 from Crossref, and these publications were classified according to two criteria, according to a country, using the affiliation. So when a paper is have an affiliation for different countries, then the paper is classified in different countries as well. And for this, we use Microsoft Academic, Crossref, and PubMed to extract the country of the publication. And the classification of the discipline was used for all subject journal classification. It's a standard, very standard model. And then, when this paper were classified, were searched in several Almetric providers, Almetric.com, PlanX, Crossref, Event Data. And finally, the Almetric source, the list of blog and news, were also classified according to affiliation, according to nationality and discipline. But this was done in a previous study. So to the question if there is any country bias, the result is yes, there is. Almetric providers are biased in favor of English-speaking country. United States publication from the United States are 6% more present in a metric provider than in the random sample, and the same was for United Kingdom with 2%. Contrarily, Asian and Latin countries are less mentioned in a metric provider. For example, China almost 4% is less present in a metric provider, and Japan 1%, and less extent Italy and Spain. According to the disciplinary bias, the question is there is a disciplinary bias. Medicine, psychology, and biology are overrepresented in a metric provider. And some physical science, like chemistry or material science, are less mentioned in a metric provider. Humanity, in general, is also underrepresented in this source. So there is very important difference in the coverage of according to the thematic classification. And the next question is to see if which could cause this country bias and discipline bias. What is the possible reason to this? The figures show the distribution of publication, the proportion of the publication mentioned by blog and news distributed by country. So we can see the particular distribution in each country. We can see all the countries show a similar distribution. United States paper are the most cited in every country. And next, the United Kingdom is the second one. So the could suggest that it's possible that there is no a bias. But when we take, for example, we compare the citation from a media to a local or foreign publication, then we'll be fine with the chi-square state that media from our country tend or prefer to mention publication for their own country. So there is their own the media. They have their own bias to select the citation. And in discipline, this problem is even worse. There is a less uniform pattern. Science media, especially in science news, tend to cite more physical article, and general local interest, like BBC or EBC, cite more social science and health science publication. No? So under the square state also show that the specialized media mention more articles related to the specialty. To conclude, a metric provider are biased in favor of English-speaking country because two reasons. Source selection, 65% of the English-speaking country from the blog and news in the metric provider come from English-speaking country. So there is a previous selection bias, and then this media prefer to mention articles from their own country. So there is two biases that work together. First, selecting the media, and then this media prefer to mention only more articles from their own country. So this have a very important consequence. One of the most important is in the valuing of the local science. With a country with a weak media environment, produce less news, produce less mention, and this less present in the metric provider. So then affected to the visibility and the assessment of this publication. They are less present in the media, so the perception of the public opinion about this kind of the research is less visible, is appreciated. And by discipline, the phenomenon is similar. There is a disciplinary bias. General interest media prefer to mention health science, medicine, social science, psychology, and this will cause this perception of the public opinion could think that could be research discipline less important, discipline that contribute less to the science, could to produce a biased perception of the scientific, of the design in different countries and different disciplines. So this is my, I finish, okay.
Thank you, José Luis. Only 10 minutes. We have many time. Please, Wenceslao. Change. Stop recording.